There's a lot. No, because I haven't finished yet.
No. All right, I'll turn the mic back over. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, on F23, on the very top paragraph, it says, on the second sentence, the council shall deem to have approved an extension of the meeting beyond 10 p.m. unless a member requests a vote to whether to. So the first two should be crossed out. Vote whether to extend or adjourn. Then continuing on to section 12, that very first sentence says, neither council members nor the public shall disrupt the proceedings or refuse to obey the orders of the chair, which should read presiding officer, or the rules of protocol. And then, if disruption continues, so we're going back to the very last paragraph on F23, it goes back to the presiding officer, and we've already said this, and in previous section, and it should be back to section 7. If the disruption continues after that, the presiding officer may declare recess, may adjourn the meeting, may move it, so all that stuff, and in this one, on from further on, or a little further on is that, rather strike that language and use the previous language. But again, we're being repetitive here. And then also to only the section on page F24. The list here, I totally agree with her, but I had put a big box around applause and cheering, because we do this. We do that in proclamations when we think things are good, they're there. And I know we're talking about disruption, but so I would be very careful. I would just cross those out. Applause, I think it's okay for the audience to express their opinions, and if applause or cheering is one good way of doing it, and also support for something, I think, personally, I think we should use that. But I don't know what the rest of the council feels on it.
Councilmember Brooke, I believe in our last discussion, we struck those such as, so I'm not sure why they're still here. I think we just said audience demonstrations that disrupt or delay the council's proceedings. So I think I remember taking those out because we decided that we weren't going to have any discussion about signs. We were going to leave that for another time and place.
Okay, thank you. I had remembered that, but I wasn't sure why it was here, and so.
I think it's a Scrivener error.
Council, I can clarify that. In fact, that was left in this particular section. The such as's were struck from Article 13. Just to clarify, these remained in, and the consensus opinion of council was 4 council members in support of leaving these particular such as's in, and 3 council members opposed.
So, can someone address my concerns of disruption as defined by the presiding officer? Would that be a sign? Would that be someone applauding? How far are we going to go into this definition?
That's an excellent question, because we are saying that applause is disruptive, and so that's one of the reasons we voted,
Councilmember Brooke, we actually put all the discretionary power, again, as I previously stated, in the hands of the person with the gavel.
Yes.
And this does nothing to take away from that. This only adds what has been prior council action to empower the actually presiding official in this meeting.
So, Sissy, on this one, using one example, audience demonstrations such as applause, you're differentiating what we did this evening when we cheered and applauded. recognize the Korean war veterans group, for example, or applaud it in favor that may applaud in support of a particular proclamation such as we've done tonight, as opposed to a cause, well, perhaps in a far different way. Is that my understanding?
Yes, because I know we've had people who say are either pro-fluoride and then the whole group applauds, and someone who's against fluoride and then the whole group applauds. And so that's, I think the public has a right to express their opinion that way. We also applauded when the little girl spoke to us. I don't think it would matter what she said, we would have applauded. So I think we need to get rid of those, truthfully. I would agree, all right? We did have that vote before, it was 3-4 and it failed. So I would actually try to put it back up to council and say, hey, let's take these out.
Councilmember Brooke, this is Councilmember Collins again. I'm concerned that we spent 4 meetings trying to work through these and we came up with a draft. I think that some of your suggestions would improve the draft, but on issues that we substantively disagreed on, I'm not sure why we need to go back and revisit everything again. I would like us to look at what you suggest and decide how to act on those, and I think that's the best way to proceed.
I would agree with you overall. Again, I don't appreciate this being here, so it would be something that I couldn't support. And I'm trying to get to a